My dear friends, I had the opportunity to sit down with Dr. and Dr. Stengler, friends of mine, Dr. Angela and Dr. Mark Stengler, from the San Diego area. See, I had been referring people to them. The results are amazing, I think because of their qualifications. They are naturopathic medical doctors, so they can prescribe if needs be, but they look at natural approaches first. Welcome, Angela, and welcome, Mark. Really appreciate you sitting down with this audience. I think I know where their hearts are. They've learned a lot about fungus and yeast. That's kind of the epicenter of what you do also. But can we talk about slowing the aging process? Chronologically, I'm 74. Next year, I'll be 75. But physiologically, is there another Doug Kaufman inside here that enables me to work out and so forth and feels so great? And then I want to talk about genetics, what the hand, the sperm and egg dealt me. But I want you, Dr. Mark, to start off with epigenetics, epi around genetics.
Sure.
So teach us.
Well, epigenetics is a huge thing in medicine right now, and for good reason. People are aware that we inherit our DNA from our parents, and that's your genetic code. And DNA is fascinating, and actually, in my opinion, is tremendous evidence for a creator. DNA is a language system, so it gives us the instructional information on how to carry out the body processes. But now we much better understand epigenetics, or above the genetics. And what that basically means is you can change the expression of your DNA. Your body can adapt through the foods you eat. If they're healthy foods, your DNA will express in a healthier way. Eat unhealthy foods, it expresses in a negative way. If you're under stress, don't handle stress well, environmental toxins, we can, to some degree, have control of how our genes are expressed, which then also plays a role in the aging process. So through proper diet, lifestyle, exercise, good attitude, prayer, these types of things, we can change our genetic expression through epigenetics. So this is a tremendous thing to understand.
It's so exciting. As a naturopathic physician, I have a friend who's a pharmacist who's taking metformin and handfuls of other supplements, senescence, supplements, and he looks amazing. And I think he's older than I am. And I'm so jealous, but I'm not, metformin, I'm worried about that and so forth. But at my age, I feel so good. Could there be a younger Doug inside here, that accounts for my ability to work out still and have fun with grandkids and so forth?
That's always a fun question. I always ask women and men in my practice, what is your motivation to stay healthy? Is it the grandkids? Fine. It should be you have low blood pressure. It should be no diabetes. It should be low cardiovascular risk. But oftentimes it is, I want to work out. I want to run a marathon, which is fine. Whatever your motivation is good, right? But as Mark said, genetics, health is genetics or epigenetics plus lifestyle. So you gotta make sure 4 things. I tell my patients 4 things are gonna make us age quicker. Not having good sleep hygiene, so not sleeping well. Stress, physical, mental, emotional, all that. So we need to learn how to cope with that stress because that's not going away, right? Sugar in all forms. Now, I like my fruit for sure. Make sure it's a fruit that has skin, and I balance it with the protein fat, because I don't need my blood sugar to go crazy.
Right.
So we've got sugar, sleep, stress, and being sedentary. So 4 things can really help us age gracefully. That's what I do.
I read an article that exercise too much can be devastating and have a deleterious effect, whereas just the right amount, the thumbprint of exercise. Have you found that out in your practice, Dr. Mark?
You can see it in biomarkers with patients. Those who overtrain, they create excess free radicals, which then damages the cell. So that can be true. If I could add one other thing, Doug, I think, to the list for anti-aging, that's hormone balance. Because the hormones definitely affect your DNA. And we know that if your hormones are in better balance, that also has an anti-aging type effect too. The hormone that's been studied the most actually is something called DHEA. Dehydroepiandrosterone, made by your adrenal glands. Very much associates, good levels associate with healthy aging. That goes back to the stress handling, though, we were talking about.
That's a good point.
Therefore, maybe less cortisol when DHEA is elevated, which is really good. Let's go for a second to your practice. I know you do telephone consults. Thank you. You've helped so many people. What do you standardly see? Do you have more females than men because females suffer from autoimmune disease more commonly? What is the first office visit like with a new patient? I mean, they're nervous, right? Like anybody would be. But they're sitting before, see, I don't have an MD. They're sitting before a naturopath and a medical doctor. Do you find that eases some of them? do most of the people who see you have 3 or 4 other, hey doc, we got to get moving, I got a gynecology and then a psychiatry and then a bone, doctor.
Yeah.
What's it like in your office?
No, people who see us are tend to be very serious about their health. We have an environment which isn't like the typical medical model, like white walls and all that, make things very comfortable. People already have a little bit of knowledge about us, so they know we're very friendly. So they're not usually stressed, they're usually excited. But yes, the average person comes in, they list usually anywhere from 3 to 7 conditions or diseases they have that they want help with.
No, I absolutely agree. And here's the one thing that I always tell patients: it's a shared decision making. What do you want to focus on? If it's fatigue, low libido, weight gain, that can all go together. And then my presentation to them is, how can I prove to you we need to change your lifestyle? Because that's number one. You cannot, there is no drug or herb that's going to fix anything unless you change something about your lifestyle.
Yeah, where are your priorities? You work at the center with other doctors. I understand you do side work also. That God bless you. Thank you
Side
for
work.
all you do. Side work, no, front work.
Unpaid side work.
Teach us a little bit about what you do.
My volunteer, is that what you're talking about? Yeah, so I do volunteer at a pregnancy center for women, and then we offer free ultrasounds for women. I do well women exams, pap smears, STD checking, all very low cost. We have to charge for the testing, but it is the group of women that we get, and we do get men in as well that have themselves tested with STDs every couple months. They know we're there for them. We're not judgmental. We're also able to give them counseling options for adoption if they want to, give their child up for adoption, and also parenting
See,
classes.
Doug, we're still maybe old school in a way. We believe the highest calling of a doctor is to save life, and this ties right into that
I was
type of
going to say,
philosophy.
politically though, you're in California.
Yes, sir.
How does that work out? Do you have the politics rubbing against a clinic like this that enables a heartbeat?
There is, just recently, we actually overturned that. Someone was trying to shut down our clinic, but we are a licensed medical clinic. We've got other medical doctors that are overseeing the medical clinic. And the thing for me is, and yes, we are in California, so a lot of our patients have had abortions, and that's a very, very tough thing that they have gone through. There's never any judgment at all. Everyone's in a different part of their life, and I want to heal them. But the majority of patients, do know that we're believers, which has never been an issue. Not one time has it been an issue with someone that's not a believer.
You're such an amazing people. Now, get back to the clinic. Supplements over prescriptive drugs, or sometimes do you feel that infection is so bad that could go into pneumonia? The majority of what an MD does is write medications. But I understand you're very bullish on supplements, amino acids, nutrients.
I'd say we're the opposite. Most people go into a doctor's office, 95% of the time they're getting a prescription. In our office, maybe 5% of the time you get a prescription. We get patients come in, maybe they had a sinusitis, a lung infection that's just been dragging on. We need to do antibiotics plus natural. But for most of our patients, because they know the way we deal with things, they come in, we treat them naturally. The colds, the flus, the COVID, the whatever, the urinary. We try and treat them naturally, but if they need medications, we give them. We always want, what's in the best interest of the patients. But obviously, we avoid all the side effect potential by not using medications. And people come in a lot to get off chronic medications by improving their health and weaning them off over time. We do that a lot.
Yeah, what we've noticed kind of since COVID is that we're definitely more family practice, not just, yes, they come in with their chronic illness. Now, all of a sudden we have their whole family. Now, all of a sudden I'm like, oh my goodness, I wasn't trained to be an orthopedist person, but I'm going to go ahead and order the MRI, order the x-ray, and then I can refer. And, because we've had these patients for such a long time with chronic yeast issues, which is a big one, or chronic fatigue or chronic digestive issues, now all of a sudden they're coming to me again going, now I have a UTI, can you fix that? Now I always have sinusitis every year, can you fix that? So I enjoy it because now you get to really delve into their health and get to know their families better. And I just think that's the beauty of naturopathic medicine.
Doug, what we like, we're kind of like gatekeepers. So if people come to us and we tell them, look, I think you need to see a specialist.
Absolutely.
No, I think you probably need to stay on this medication. No, I think you'll be able to get off these medications. We like being gatekeepers because I think we give people a more balanced outlook on what they can do for their health instead of just a typical drug and surgery route.
3 or 4 years ago, I had a desperation call from a woman here, and she got through to me. Sometimes, when desperation is achieved, they get through to me. advanced cancer. I think it was non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, complete with a huge lump on her neck, and blood results that indicated that. And the doctor wanted to start her on chemotherapy, and she really got scared. And sometimes they cry, on the phone with me. And she was in California, so I sent her to you. And I'll never forget the note a couple months later you sent me. And it was in the order of, hey, she's doing great. She saw the oncologist today. And guess what, Doug? And then you said something that kind of blew my mind. Does the oncologist want more information on what we did? Isn't that sad? You can help people with advanced disease, but the doctors are so geared because they have so many patients, not bad people.
Well,
good
a
people.
quote we hear a lot from patients is this. They'll see their doctor, and the doctor might even be a friendly, person, and then they underwent like a natural type treatment, nutrition, supplements, whatever, and then their condition's completely reversed. Oftentimes we ask, what did the doctor say? And they tell us, he or she said, I don't know what you did, I don't want to know what you did, but keep doing it. That's kind of like the phrase that we hear nowadays. It used to be, I don't want to hear about it. Now it's like, anyways, we hear that a lot.
It was good. It was good. We're good. Well, thank you. We started off on anti-aging and went kind of the full spectrum. What have you two, as people first and practitioners second, what have you learned? In other words, you have a family, you have kids and soon grandkids. And what have you learned personally from all you've seen about lifestyle implications in good health or poor health?
Well, that's a good question. I always commend the younger people that are coming in, early 20s. I'm like, you are so smart, because they can see, like when we talk about nutritional deficiencies, oh my goodness, my vitamin D is at 19, I'm super deficient, or my omegas are in the red zone and they're only like 22.
Yep.
So just imagine if they would have waited too long. So it's empowering to see how awesome they feel when they're like, okay, I'm gonna eat less red meat, more fish. I'm gonna exercise more, sleep more, and things of that sort, decrease my stress. So I've just learned really lifestyle makes a huge difference. And also I love working with kids. They really bounce back well.
Yeah.
And I love seeing them empower. Even my 8-year-old patients, when they look at the numbers and I'm like, look how low your iron is. Like that means you have to take the supplement. And they're okay, well in 3 months I want to see that number get higher. Well, it's only gonna go higher if you improve your diet and this and this and this. So that's what I love, is just seeing people heal, and they've done it. I haven't done a darn thing. I've just told them my suggestions. It has nothing to do with me. It's completely them.
And you, Mark, what have you?
Well, I think in 27 years of practice, over 30,000 patients, what I kind of get amazed about is the engineered system of the body. It has all the hallmarks of being engineered. And so I find when we work with those engineered systems, with how the body is designed, through the exercise, the nutrients, the nutrition, the stress reduction, people get better. And if we don't do that, or if doctors don't do that, the results are limited. The drugs and even sometimes the supplements can be limited unless you do those fundamental things to work with the engineered systems of the body.
Yeah, God did it right. Congratulations, by the way, top naturopathic medical doctor in 2023. 2 years ago, Doctor of the Decade. Wow.
She's taught me well.
Yes, she has taught you well. You're a darling couple. Isn't this the kind of doctor you wish you had? Do you do telehealth?
Yep, we do.
Consultations? Good. Okay, Dr. Stengler, drstengler.com, Stengler, if you want to find out more of what they do. You're a darling couple. You're a tremendously brilliant duo. Thank you for honoring us and being here.
Thank you.